It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Tickets presents the Dodgers as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. 15th meeting of the year between the two teams, and they've split the previous 14. The Dodgers way out in front in the standings, however, and they'll send Hyun-Jin Ryu to the mound. He has a record of 13-5, 1-0 this year against Arizona. He is also 7-2 at home this year, trying to win his 14th, would tie him with Hideo Nomo's first year, the big winner in his first year with the Dodgers. Rick Sutcliffe won 17. On the mound for Arizona, the left-hander Patrick Corbin began the year 9-0, then went 12-1. He's now 13-6. But the big thing about Corbin, normally when he pitches, Arizona wins. He's made 28 starts, and over that period, Arizona has won 21 and lost only 7. So, big game coming up for the Dodgers, trying to cut down into the magic number. We'll find out about the game and a whole lot more coming up right after this. Test drive the fun-to-drive 2013 Sonata by AT&T U-verse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. And by Jack in the Box. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos for only $3.99 plus tax.
Hey, welcome. Moments away from Dodger baseball. First pitch. Dodgers go for the sweep of the second place. Way back there, Arizona Diamondbacks. Good evening, everybody. I'm Patrick O'Neill alongside Steve Lyons. Magic number is 6.
That's awesome.
How quickly we have gotten to this. I'm predicting maybe the Dodgers clinch against the Giants. That wouldn't be so bad. Right? Nice. 4 with them coming up. Hey, Steve, Juan Uribe, as you gather all your things, versus Michael Young. And my guess is, I want your opinion, that Uribe is the guy in the playoffs to start third base.
I wouldn't be so sure, and I think it's going to be a really tough decision for Don Mattingly. Uribe has had his best year in a Dodger uniform. Everybody's behind this guy. They love him. He's played so well. He hit the 3 home runs the other night. He's got the second best fielding percentage of all third basemen in the National League. He's made just 4 errors. But Uribe has kind of a slider speed bat, and when you face number 1s and number 2s in the rotation, and they can throw a fastball 92 to 98 miles an hour, he's always had trouble catching up with that. Donnie knows that. Michael Young might be a good option in that situation. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but he has to make that decision.
Yeah, quick follow. Ryu, what do you expect out of him?
You know, I like this guy. We've liked him all season long. I'm a little bit worried about his back, but I think if he's ready to pitch, he's shook that off by now, and he'll go out and do a good job.
Important start for Hyun-Jin Ryu going against Patrick Corbin. Vince Scully has the call next on Prime Ticket.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium, the home of the Dodgers battling the Arizona Diamondbacks. But right now, a rather sensitive and emotional crowd, having watched a beautiful memorial service, the flag hanging at Flagstaff State, because this, of course, the Memorial Day of September the 11th, 2001. The flag in center field is the National 9/11 flag. Another flag the Dodgers had sent to Kandahar Airfield back in August. That has returned, and that goes up the flagpole, top of the stadium. And then if you're old enough to remember Vietnam, there's no way you can look at a formation of helicopters without thinking of Vietnam. But in this instance, it was all part of the ceremony, reminding us the battle cry we shall never forget, the pain and the sorrow and the heroism of September the 11th. 2001. Jim Sands, Jack Wallace from the New York Fire Department throwing out the first ball. I guess I will always remember one terse remark from a rescued person who had been high up in the towers. And he was talking about the first responders. And he said, we were running out of the building for our lives, and they were going in and going up. And in their memory, along with the memory of the thousands who died that fateful day, we shall never forget. And we use sports like baseball and others to finally lighten the mood. And after listening to bagpipers play Amazing Grace, which is about as touching as a trumpet playing taps, we can now turn our minds and our energies to a child's game and enjoy this moment indeed. A.J. Pollock opens up in center field for Kirk Gibson. Willie Bloomquist in left field. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Martin Prado at third, hitting cleanup. Aaron Hill at second base. Gerardo Parra in right field. Chris Owings, the young shortstop, he's in that position tonight. Tuffy Gozowicz is the catcher, and Patrick Corbin on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Hyun-Jin Ryu with a record of 13-5. If he wins his 14th, he will then tie Hideo Nomo's 14 his first year. Kaz Ishii, the same thing. Of course, the most successful Dodger rookie pitcher was Rick Sutcliffe. His first year, he won 17. Ryu at home is 7-2, and he is 1-0 against Arizona. He hasn't worked since the end of August. He had a twinge in his back, so he missed his normal rotation. But here he is ready to go tonight against A.J. Pollock. A.J. Pollock, leading off, has not done a lot offensively. He does have 7 home runs, 34 runs batted in. He looks at the first pitch for a strike, and we're underway. But the one thing about Pollock, everyone says, he's as fine a center fielder as plays the game these days. In fact, they say he's much better than Chris Young, who was always thought of as a brilliant center fielder when he played for Arizona. A beautiful 70 degrees tonight as A.J. Pollock, Alan Lorenz Pollock IV, out of Hebron, Connecticut, and promptly bangs an 0-2 pitch into center field for a base hit. So the haunting count, no balls and 2 strikes, and then the pitcher gives up a base hit. Always a painful moment for any pitcher, and the batter now is Willie Bloomquist. Willie Bloomquist playing the series in left field, 0 for 5 last night, hitting .340 with 12 runs batted in. Bloomquist did not play in the first game. So Willie, who went to school at Arizona State, checks in, right-hand batter. And the first pitch by Ryu is at the knees for a strike, and the count 0-1. On deck, the number 1 Dodger tormentor this year, and that would be big Paul Goldschmidt. 0-1 the count. Bloomquist with Pollock at first, the pitch down and away, and a 1-ball, 1-strike. Pollock, a very good base runner and base stealer, has stolen 11 out of 14. Though A.J. off the bag, held on by Adrian Gonzalez. 1-1 the count to Bloomquist. 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. The Diamondbacks have been plagued by the problem of hitting into double plays. They've hit into 138 double plays. The Dodgers, for instance, have hit in 119. So Kirk has been troubled by that. 1-2 the count to Willie Bloomquist. The next one to him is very high. 2-2 the count. When asked about the Arizona attitude, Kirk Gibson summed it up perfectly. He said, we're playing for pride. And you know that when Kirk played, He would do everything in his power legitimately to win. And even though they're just about out of it, you can bet they'll give the Dodgers a bad time. Little foul off first. Adrian Gonzalez leans on the railing, looks into the Arizona dugout, but no chance to make a play. And the count 2-2. So Bloomquist followed by Goldschmidt and then Martin Prado. Bloomquist banged up at the very start of the year, then on the DL again in the middle of the year. So Willie, fine ball player, but he has only been in 33 games. One reason why Arizona is 13 games back. The next pitch fouled away off to the right upstairs, and the count remains 2-2. Checking a score in Philadelphia, San Diego and Philadelphia. We mentioned that the magic number for the Padres is 1. Line drive, base hit on a 2-2 pitch. So for Ryu, he's in trouble right away. Back-to-back single. The final score, Philadelphia beat the Padres 4-2. So that eliminates San Diego. Their number was 1. Any combination thereof, whether the Dodgers won or they lost, and they lost. The Padres bowing to Cliff Lee, who wound up 13-6. Jed Jerko, the brilliant rookie second baseman for San Diego, and we'll see him next weekend. Jerko hit his 18th home run. So here's the big guy, and boy is he a big man against the Dodgers, Paul Goldschmidt. He's hitting .324 against the Dodgers this year. Takes ball 1. Last year he had .367. Last year he had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. This year 4 home runs and 10 RBIs against the Dodgers. So in his young career, he's hitting .333 against the Dodgers. 6 home runs, 16 runs batted in. He takes high, and Ryu is anything but sharp. 2-0 the count. So he gave up the base hit to Pollock 0-2. He gave up the base hit to Bloomquist 2-2. And he's now behind to a very dangerous hitter who has 31 home runs, Paul Goldschmidt. Ryu's fastball is popped in the air, foul off first, down the line, heading for the stands and back in. If you're looking at the big hitters in the league, Goldschmidt is second in home runs. He is first in RBIs. He's first in total bases. He is first with 3 grand slams. His name is scattered throughout all the big hitters. He is third in the league in walks, third in slugging percentage, third in extra base hits. I mean, you get the idea. Goldschmidt is worth the price of gold, one back of Pedro Alvarez in home run. 2-1 pitch on the way. Paul, big right-hand hitter, whacks it down the line, hooking foul, and going way back in the lower deck. So Ryu is struggling here in the first inning. Gives up 2 hits, now a long, loud foul, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arizona's had some pretty good hitters down through the years, but no Arizona hitter has ever led the league in home runs or RBIs. So he's 1 back in home runs, but he leads by 6 in RBIs. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Paul Goldschmidt. Ryu delivers. It's a line drive over the head of Punto into right center. Scoring is Pollock. Stopping at third is Bloomquist on a long single by Paul Goldschmidt. And it is 1-0 Arizona. And Ryu certainly doesn't look like someone who's going to be around very long tonight. So Goldschmidt reaches down, hits a soft line drive. Just went down to get it and slapped it over the head of Punto for a long single to the gap in right center. So that gives him 108 runs batted in. Ryu very much in trouble. First and third, still nobody out. And the batter is Martin Prado. Martin Prado, among other things, he is the 4th toughest guy in the league to strike out. However, because he is such a contact hitter, he also pays the price. He's hit into 26 double plays. Rio deals fastball, missing, ball 1. So 3 hits in a row for a run. Arizona leading 1-0. Arizona certainly does not want to be swept, even though that part of the story is pretty much meaningless. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Ground ball to Ramirez. He's on the bag for one. There's the 27th double play hit into by Martin Prado. But scoring is Bloomquist, and it is 2-0 Arizona. So for Arizona, up jumps the Devil, the double play ball. 6-3. Goldschmidt removed. And the batter now is Aaron Hill. 2-0 Arizona. We're in the first inning. Hill, right-hand batter, multi-talented. 9 home runs, 36 RBIs, hitting .289. Did something that almost all of the famous players to ever play the game never did. He hit for the cycle twice in 1 year. He takes low. 2 balls and no strikes, the count. So Ryu missing a turn. Here he is on the 11th, so he's gone a good 6 extra days from his normal rotation. Pitch in for a strike, and it shows. 2-1 the count. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Fastball hit late down to the right side. Punta sidearms it to Adrian Gonzalez, and that's it. But 3 straight hits for a run, and the second run scores on the double play. Goldschmidt drives in another, and the D-backs lead 2-0. We'll take a look now at the Dodger lineup, trying to get him back for him. Yasiel Puig will lead off in right field. Nick Punto in second base. Hanley Ramirez at short. Adrian Gonzalez hits cleanup at first. Michael Young makes a start at third base. Scott Van Slyke, last night's hero, in left field. A.J. Ellis behind the plate. Skip Schumacher in center field. Hyun-Jin Ryu on the mound. On the mound for Arizona, the boy from Clay, New York, and that would be Patrick Corbin. Corbin started the year 9-0, then in his first 20 starts was 12-1. However, things have turned around a great deal. Since then, he is 1-5, so he comes into the game with a record of 13-6. The end of 2012, the beginning of 2013, he had 20 1/3 scoreless innings against the Dodgers. He's 1-0 this year, and he is 2-1 lifetime against them. Patrick, among other things, is a winner. Never mind the record that has turned around a bit. The left-handed pitch to Puig is off the plate on the edge for a strike, and the count 0-1. Corbin has made 28 starts, and Arizona has won 21 of them. Fastball inside, 1-1. Yasiel Puig, in his last 21 games, is struggling. He's hitting just .253, and he has struck out 18 times while collecting only 19 hits. swings, doesn't get it, and the count 1-2. So the league is getting tougher. Puig is learning about that. His average at .338. Corbin straddles the rubber, and now the left-handed fastball, soft line drive into right field for a base hit. Maybe not hit hard, but it was the trajectory of the line drive. So Puig a single to right, and the batter will be Nick Punto. So Puig trying to snap the spell with a base hit with 2 strikes on him. And now Nick Punto checking with Tim Wallach and hitting third in the lineup, Hanley Ramirez. Patrick Corbin with an ERA of more than 4.5 in his last 6 starts, and the Dodgers trying to keep him at that at least. Corbin looks in to get a sign. Now the left-hander straightens up. Puig cautious lead at first. Corbin to the plate, and the fastball is whipped low. Ball 1, 1-0. Patrick Corbin working on Nick Punto, who backs out and takes yet another look. Corbin is 6'2", 190. They say he can dunk a basketball from a standstill position. He grew up under Syracuse basketball program. Baseball actually his second sport. The 1-0 pitch, check swing, and the pitch away. 2-0 they count. How did Corbin get to Arizona? Well, the Diamondbacks traded Dan Herring to the Angels for Rafael Rodriguez, Joe Saunders. They also got Corbin and a player to be named later. He's only 24 years old. Second round pick from the Angels back in 2009. Throw to first. Puig back on the bag. Basically, with Corbin, you're going to get a fastball, slider, and a changeup. Fastball has a lot of movement, so he throws it a lot. Pretty good fielding pitcher, they say. And Corbin looks in with Punto waiting. Puig off the bag at first. It's 2-0 Arizona, first inning. Corbin to the plate, a bunt, and it's foul back. So Nick Punto, who likes to bunt if the infield is positioned certain ways, if they're playing back at the corners, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Nick Punto, one of the shockers, one of the Humpties, as they used to call the non-starters in the old days. But they have all made sizable contributions this year to put the Dodgers 13 in front of Arizona. All right, Punto back up to the plate. Corbin out of a stretch, looks at Puig, back to his hitter, and works it for a strike, and that evens it up 2-2. Patrick Corbin, among other things, 79% of all of his starts have been so-called quality, 6 innings, 3 runs or less. He's done that 22 times. Here's the 2-2 pitch coming up to Nick Punto. Left-handed deals, and that's a little low. Ball 3, 3-2. After looking at the pitchers last night, where we saw one pitcher, Volquez, with 14 wild pitches. We saw Cahill with 17 wild pitches. Corbin has 12 wild pitches. So Patrick straightens up 3-2. We'll see about Puig. A look by Corbin, and he goes over there, and Puig back on the bag. Corbin has lost 5 games since the All-Star game. 8 of his victories are at home. He's lost 5. Left-hander ready. Puig takes his lead, doesn't go. Punto, meanwhile, swings, fouls it back, and the count remains 3-2. So Nick Punto trying to keep the inning alive. You have Hanley Ramirez on deck, and then Adrian Gonzalez. 2-0 in favor of Arizona in the first inning. The league has not run on Corbin as Puig takes his lead. And the 3-2 pitch, again a throw over. There's only been one stolen base in 5 attempts against Corbin. That's another change. The league runs pretty well against Cahill. So Corbin, left foot on the rubber, leans in to get a sign. Now straightens up. Puig takes his lead. Nobody out. 3-2 to Punto. Corbin delivers ground ball to the right side. The feed for one and the throw to first for the double play. So turnabout is fair play. The Dodgers turn 2 against Prado. And now the D-backs turn 2 against Punto. And the batter will be Hanley Ramirez. 2 down first inning. And it is 2-0 in favor of Arizona. The Dodgers at home against left-handers this year are 17-9. And of course, one of the many turnarounds by the Dodgers is what they have done in the Western Division. You remember at one time they had 9 wins and 23 losses against the West. Since then, they've gone 21-5. So here's Hanley hitting .339, first ball swinging, and fouls it away. Hanley Ramirez, one of the towers of strength for the Dodgers, hitting in the number 3 slot. Hanley 0 for 3 yesterday. Another reason the turnaround by the Dodgers against the West is what Hanley has done against the West. He hits a mile-high fly ball, but it's playable, and Pollock out there waits and puts it away. So no runs, 1 hit, nobody left, and at the end of an inning, 2-0 Arizona. Gosowich coming up. Atlanta lost today. They're 87-58. Dodgers 2 games back in the win column as the battle for home field advantage. And talking about a battle, there's a big battle going on. The Cardinals have the edge on Pittsburgh. Cincinnati's hurting of late, taking a couple of body blows from the Chicago Cubs. So the overall National League records, and it certainly looks like those are the 5 teams that will be involved in postseason play. Gerardo Parra, left-hand hitting right fielder with 15 assists. Has a great arm, takes a strike, and they count 0-1. Parra hitting .267, 10 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Gerardo waits. Ryu comes back, slides a little low, 1 ball and 1 strike. So in the first inning, A.J. Pollock with a no-ball 2-strike count, single to center. Willie Bloomquist with a 2-2 count, single to left. The pitch to Parra swung on and missed. They count 1-2. Then Paul Goldschmidt shot a single to right to drive in Pollock. sending Bloomquist to third. Prado grounded into a double play with Bloomquist scoring, and it's 2-0 Arizona. So Parra, Owings, and Gosowicz, and the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball off the plate, and the count 2-2. Gerardo Parra has hit in 7 of his last 10 games. He had a 5 RBI game against the Padres the end of August. 2-2 pitch, reached for and hit inside third and down the line. How he ever hit that remains to be seen as Van Slyke has trouble. Parra keeps on going, and he will go head first into third. It'll probably be a double and an error. What a pitch that Ryu made off the plate. Parra extended his arms, reached over, and you talk about going fishing. And he wound up hitting the ball between the bag and Michael Young. Pitch was way out of the zone, and Parra just slapped it down the line. Young never had a chance, and then Van Slyke had trouble handling it in the corner. So it's a double for Parra, and he will take third on the error charged to Scott. So nobody out. Owings, Gosowicz, and then the pitcher spot Corbin. Interesting to see Chris Owings. Young shortstop, Dodger infield is up. The pitch to Owings in for a strike, and the count 0-1. His name bandied about a great deal, talking about the future. He's from Charleston, South Carolina. He was drafted #1 pick out of high school. Hits one down to second base. Punto has it. The runner at third holds, and we have one out. So Owings unable to pick him up. Gosowicz now coming up. His first name is Tuffy, and he has to be pretty tough. He has spent 9 years in the minor leagues before coming up and getting a plans to Che. So here he is. Tuffy Gosowicz, hitting 185. The infield still up with one out. Parra at third. And then the pitcher Corbin to follow. Ryu's first pitch in for a strike. And the count 0-1. Gosowicz is from Scottsdale. Still lives there. Went to Arizona State. And was originally drafted by the Phillies. He was an 11th round pick out of college. Strike one pitch to Tuffy. Line drive down the left field line. So Ryu sure doesn't have it tonight. Scoring easily is Parra. Into second base goes Gosowicz. And just like that, 3-0 in favor of Arizona. So Ryu's not fooling people as Gosowicz drives in Parra. And I mean, he hit it hard. Just got a knee-high fastball and lined it into the left field corner. So pitchers are like babies in the sense they get on a schedule and they're fine, and if they get off the schedule they have a lot of problems. Ryu off his schedule, gone 11 days since his last start, and it's obvious it's going to be a tough night for him. So here's Patrick Corbin, left-hand batter. Corbin has 8 hits. He takes ball 1, 4 doubles, 3 RBIs, strikes out about a third of the time, so not bad with the bat. 1 out, 1 in, 3-0 Arizona. Ryu's next pitch off the plate with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count 2-0. Three runs, 5 hits for Arizona, and we're only in the second inning. 2-0 pitch on the way is swung on, fouled away. 2-1 the count. So 5 hits, 3 singles, 2 doubles. 1 Dodger error, that by Scott Van Slyke, but he would have scored anyway on the double by Gosowicz. 2-1. Punch on the ground, going to third, and the play will be to first for the out. Hanley Ramirez had a play at third, but he opted to go to first. Gosowicz violating a base runner's rule. 99 times out of 99, he's not supposed to be going on a ground ball to the shortstop. but Ramirez just let him go. Had plenty of time, and Hanley throws over to first. So that gives A.J. Pollock a shot at picking up a run batted in. Ryu deals fastball, line foul into the crowd behind the Arizona dugout. 0-1 the count. Last night we had 41,867. Dodgers, by the way, lead the major leagues in attendance. Their heartfelt thanks to their great fans who are here day in and day out. Oh, look. Oh, he got a beach ball and promptly whacked it where it might wind up back on the field again. 0-1 the count. Here comes Ryu, and that's fouled away off to the left. 0-2 the count to A.J. Pollock. They have a couple of dandy center fielders in Pollock and Eaton. Pollock's dad was a rugby player at Boston College. A.J. went to school at Notre Dame. 0-2 the count. 3-0 Arizona. Ryu ready. Here he comes with a fastball very high at 92 miles an hour. One ball and 2 strikes the count. Ryu deals, fastball, got him looking. Outside corner, right about at the knees. Pollock can't believe it, just stays at home plate. However, D-backs get an extra run thanks to Gerardo Parra's leadoff double, and it's 3-0 Arizona. Taken in the ball game. Don't miss any of the action at Dodger Stadium next season. Become a 2014 season ticket holder. Place a deposit at Dodgers.com/season tickets. Bottom of the second inning, 3-0 in favor of Arizona, trying to salvage one, trying to stay alive mathematically, and trying to lop off 2 more on the so-called magic number. The Dodgers will have Gonzalez, Young, and Van Slyke in that order. Adrian Gonzalez hitting .296, 20 home runs, 89 runs batted in, and having a big series in the first 2 games, 5 for 8, with a home run and a couple of runs batted in. We can duck in a couple of scores. We can tell you the Pirates defeated the Rangers again, 7-5. The pitch to Adrian missing for ball 1. That means the Bucks sweep the 3-game series in Texas. A.J. Burnett beating Matt Garza. And the Reds finally got well against the Cubs. Beat them 6-0. Adrian takes high. Mike Leake helped Cincinnati avoid a sweep, finishing a 7-3 homestand. Remember, they won 3 out of 4 against St. Louis, swept 3 from the Dodgers, and then the Cubs beat them 2 out of 3. The 2-0 pitch in for a strike, and the count 2-1. Waiting on deck, Michael Young. Corbin doesn't wait around very much. The left-hander comes back 2-1. Adrian takes inside, ball 3, and the count runs 3-1. Dodgers, by the way, have lost 12 games since the All-Star break. That's all, 12. You might wonder around the record. The 3-1 pitch foul back. The 1954 Cleveland Indians had the fewest losses of any team after the All-Star break. They only lost 16. And as they say on Broadway, how'd they come out? They lost 4 straight to the New York Giants in the World Series. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball high for ball 4. It reminds me of a most interesting column written recently by Bill Klasky, pointing out the fact that the top teams of late have not done well at all in postseason. If I remember, it was something like 3 of 18. So it's a warning to any of the top teams, which of course right now would mean the Braves, the Dodgers, and the Cardinals. Got a long way to go, no matter how well the season seems to be going. So Mattingly now has Michael Young at the plate. The boy from Covina, veteran, takes a pitch for a strike, 0-1. Michael, born the middle of October 1976, the only player in Major League history with over 400 starts at second, at short, and at third. And he's at third tonight. Strike 1 pitch, and Young takes low. He's had some great years. His high in home runs would be 22. His high in RBIs would be 103. And his high in a batting average would be 338. So Michael Young brings a lot to the dance. He went to the University of California at Santa Barbara. 36 years old. The 1-1 pitch way out in front, and the count 1-2. So he'll be 37 in October. Michael, in his background, like Ted Williams, the son of a Mexican mother, a school secretary, his dad an electrician and a construction worker. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Michael Young. Fastball drives him off the plate at the knees. Good fastball at 93. So Corbin has made 23 pitches. Ryu has made 38, just to give you an idea. Patrick looks in, getting a sign. Now the left-hander ready. Very short lead by Gonzalez. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball, sliced foul off to the right upstairs. 2-2 the count. For Michael Young, a little more of his background. His name is Michael Brian Young, but his mom has always called him simply B, the initial B. 2-2 to B, if his mom's watching. Corbin delivers. Fastball hit over the head, dropping into right field, but running up to catch it is Parra. Good throw to first, and Gonzalez just did get back. So Young, a little flare, and Parra came in a hurry to make the catch and almost doubled up Adrian Gonzalez. One away. Scott Van Slyke coming up, and I'm certain he can live on a memory for at least 24 hours. That line drive home run he hit last night against Josh Coleman with a man aboard to give the Dodgers the 5-3 victory. And of course he was drowned in the post-game interview. Well, like father, like son. You know, his father was a marvelous player, Andy Van Slyke. He had 2 walk-off home runs. Meanwhile, Scotty hits a towering fly ball, not far but high. and Pollock is there to make the catch. A little bit more about Andy. He had a 10th inning home run for the Cardinals in 1983 to beat Houston, and his father had a home run in the bottom of the ninth in Pittsburgh for the Pirates to beat the Braves in 1990. And the oddity, both games had just hit the 3-hour mark when Scott's dad, Andy, hit the walk-off home run. So 2 down, Gonzalez still at first after walking, and here's A.J. Ellis. Corbin set, looks at first, works his hitter, gets a strike, and the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Van Slyke makes the second out. Ellis trying to extend the inning. Skip Schumacher hitting back of him in the number 8 slot. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball hit in the air to right center. On his horse is Power. It's over his head and bounces over the wall. Coming home to score is Adrian Gonzalez. Let's see if they'll allow him to score or not. It's a ground rule double for A.J. Ellis. And Gonzalez looking as if to say, where do I go? Back to third, and they break the news to him. Yes. So the ground rule double by A.J. Ellis bounced over the wall and then came back when it hit the stands. Parra on the dead run trying to catch up. It hits the ground, bounces up, hits the railing, touched by a fan, and comes back on the field. So Adrian Gonzalez has to hold at third, and that'll bring up Skip Schumacher. So it's a long double to right field by A.J. Ellis, but not able to score Gonzalez. 2 on, 2 out. Schumacher backs away, and the pitch down and away. Ball 1, 1-0. Schumacher hitting .268, 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in. A veteran of playoffs. He's been in them 3 of the last 4 years with St. Louis. The 1-0 pitch, and that's low. 2-0 the count. On deck, Hyun-Jin Ryu. So Gonzalez walks. 2 outs later. A.J. Ellis, a ground rule double. Schumacher trying to pick him up, and Ryu waiting on deck. Gonzalez at third, Ellis at second with 2 out. And the 2-0 pitch on the way. Good breaking ball for a strike. And the count 2-1. Patrick Corbin, earned run average under 3. 47 walks, 165 strikeouts coming in. 2-1 pitch way off the plate, ball 3. He might really not want very much, Skip Schumacher, even though it'd be putting the tying run aboard. He has Ryu, who's not a bad hitting pitcher, but still he is a pitcher on deck. Now the 3-1 pitch. Schumacher might be green lighted here. He has a look at ball 4. So the Dodgers have the bases loaded, but I have a feeling that was more designed by Kirk Gibson. By the way, seldom known note about Kirk Gibson. There's a little meeting at the mound. Gibson's late father, Robert, was on the USS Missouri, September 1945, when the U.S. and Japan signed a peace treaty that officially ended World War II. And when you talk to Kirk about his dad, he shakes his head. He was quite a guy and quite a disciplinarian. Meanwhile, the Dodgers have the bases loaded, 2 out second inning, 3-0, and a chance for the Dodgers to get back in the game. Corbin ready and deals, and the first one in for a strike. Rio, no slouch with the bat. With runners in scoring position, he's hitting .294. That translates 5-4-17. Overall, however, hitting just .200. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Corbin deals, drives his hitter off the plate, way inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Gonzalez walked, Young flied to right, Van Slyke flied to center. Ellis a ground rule double. Schumacher walks. So the tying runs are on the base paths. Arizona leads 3-0. 1-1 pitch on the way is taken low and away. Ball 2. 2-1 on deck. Yasiel Puig. So Puig will let off the game for the Dodgers with a single. Waits on Ryu. 2-1 the count to Hyun-Jin. Now the 2-1 pitch taken for a strike. Ryu doesn't say anything. The crowd does the umpiring. The senior umpire is Bill Welke, and Bill's been calling balls and strikes in the big leagues for 30 years. 2-2. Corbin ready to make a very big pitch, and Ryu swings a chopper to short. They'll go the long way to first in time, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, a walk, and then another walk, and 3 left. And at the end of 2, 3-0 Arizona. Note, and that would be the go-ahead RBI in the last at-bat, sometimes top of the 9th inning. Mark Ellis has 3. At 2, you have A.J. Ellis, Adrian Gonzalez, Andre Ethier, Hanley Ramirez, and Yasiel Puig, and having the pleasure and thrill of 1 go-ahead RBI in the last at-bat. Kershaw, Uribe, Cruz, Fedorovich, and, of course, Van Slyke. Of course, when you were talking about winning in your last at-bat, just take a good look at the Arizona Diamondbacks. They have had 31 victories this year in their last at-bat. Tonight, they're a front runner, leading 3-0 as we go to the 3rd inning. 3 runs, 5 hits for Kirk's club. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Nancy B. Heffley playing Fiddler on the Roof, which reminds us the sacred Jewish holiday Yom Kippur coming up in 2 days, Day of Atonement. That would be September the 13th, which also happens to be Friday the 13th, one of those days. Here's Willie Bloomquist, followed by Paul Goldschmidt, then Martin Prado. 3-0 D-backs. And Willie takes off speed for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Bloomquist had tragedy in his life. It was his father, who was a very successful dentist. Had a long day with root canals and all of the other things that dentists have. Meanwhile, Willie's going to ground out. Nice play by Hanley Ramirez. And trying to get away from it all. His dad went hunting with a buddy, driving out in the wilds, hit some black ice. Car spun around and he lost his father. 1 away, 3rd inning, 3-0. favor the D-backs, and the batter is Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie, as usual, came up with a man aboard single and a run. Takes the first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. We mentioned it last night because, not to rub it in, but how he has struggled against all the other teams in the National League West. And yet, when he plays the Dodgers, they can't get him out. Just one of the mysteries of the game. He hits a little roll at a third, charging, making the scoop as Young throws him out. Nice bit of fancy footwork for Adrian Gonzalez. To conclude the thought on Goldschmidt, he's hitting .224 against Colorado, .217 against San Diego, .212 against the Giants, and hitting .324 against the Dodgers this year, .333 in his career. Figure that one out. Don Baylor, a marvelous hitter and a great coach, might give you some details, but that's about it. So we have two down. Martin Prado takes a strike. Prado is a wonderful hitter, fourth toughest guy in the league to strike out. But as we mentioned just before he did it, he hits into a lot of double plays, 27 of them. This time he grounds out to Punto. A very quick inning for Ryu. 1, 2, 3 on 3 little ground balls. And at the end of 2.5 innings, however, it's still 3-0 Arizona. The third. Don't forget, the Giants are coming to town starting tomorrow for a 4-game set starting at 7:10. So be at Dodger Stadium and all the action unfolds. Visiting Dodgers.com/tickets. In case you're not up to it specifically, the Giants and the Dodgers have rolled around 12 times so far this year, and they've each won 6. Yasiel Puig led off with a single to right field in the first inning. Really doing well at home with a .380 batting average and hitting .304 on the road. But he was struggling over quite a few games. Right now he fouls a pitch back and the count 0-1. Puig getting that base hit to right field got his average back up to .340. Patrick Corbin leading 3-0. Now the strike one pitch on the way. That straightens up Puig, moves him back, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. When Stan Musial, the great hitter, he was a left-handed batter with a very much closed stance. His feet were almost close together, and his upper torso was turned towards third base. So it looked like he was peeking around the corner. It was his right shoulder, of course, that did the peeking. High fly ball down the left field line, going foul back into the stands. Puig did not hit it very hard, and the ball lazily curling foul. Anyway, watching Puig, it is nothing like Musial's stance. Don't get me wrong. But when he does get in, that left shoulder comes up close to the chin. And if you've been watching someone like Musial, it comes to mind right away. He promptly swings again and fouls it off. And the count stays 1-2. Stan Musial, what an incredible hitter. You know, he had, I think he had 3,600 hits. 1,800 at home and 1,800 on the road. More than that, actually, but just about the same. Puig swings, fouls the next one back, so he's still there. 1-2 the count. Boy, just think about it. He's only been here since June the 2nd. His name was almost immediately linked with Joe DiMaggio because they had so many hits in the first so many games. Now here I am in September talking about how that shoulder makes me think of Musial. The 1-2 pitch taken just inside. 2-2 the count to Yasiel. Puig, 15 home runs, 35 runs batted in. 2-2 pitch. Line drive, great diving stop out of the dirt by Goldschmidt. Takes it to the bag for the out. So Paul Goldschmidt takes an extra base hit away from Puig, and we have one out in the third inning.
Number 7, Nick Punto.
Fine play by the Diamondbacks first baseman. The one fortunate thing for Paul, the ball was hit to his gloved side, and he was able to short hop it, then get up and run to the bag. So one out, and Nick Punto, who hit into a double play, coming up. Punto has certainly been a traveling man on the infield. He's played second base over 20 games, the same at short and the same at third, hitting .257. Punto, 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Takes a strike on the inside corner, and he can't believe it. Backed out, startled almost at the call. Oh, and 2 the count to Nick Punto. Corbin ready, and Patrick's strike 2 pitch is hit over the head of the second baseman Hill. A one-hopper picked up by Gerardo Parr. So there's another one of those pitcher nightmares. No balls, 2 strikes. And like playing tennis, a little volley into right field. Pitch was almost in the dirt. It was certainly out of the strike zone, but he just went down and slapped at it. It's like Parra's double, a pitch that was way outside of the strike zone. So they'll take it as long as it's a base hit, and the batter now is Hanley Ramirez. 3 runs, 5 hits for Arizona, no runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Hanley, if he played 162 games, would be on a pace to have 112 runs batted in. He backs off a pitch low, ball 1. He hit a mile-high fly ball, but the problem was it was a mile high. So it was caught easily by A.J. Pollock in the first inning. 1 ball and no strikes. Hanley, 18 home runs, 53 runs batted in. He also has 94 hits. Takes the next one low and inside. 2-0 the count. 3-0 in favor of the Diamondbacks. They did the damage early. 2 in the first inning, 1 in the second. Ryu rusty and paid the price. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. Left-hander Corbin delivers. Way out in front of it was Hanley Ramirez, maybe guessing fastball. Got something in the middle 80s instead. 2-1. Ramirez back up and waiting. Corbin looks in, getting a sign from Gosowicz. And the 2-1 pitch in the dirt. 3-1 the count to Hanley. Right-hand batters have hit 13 home runs against Patrick Corbin. And you have a home run hitter certainly in Hanley Ramirez. Corbin out of a stretch will look over at first, and the 3-1 pitch swung on, cracked bat, ground ball, that is foul. At least it sounded cracked up here. 3-2 the count, and Hanley walking back. Yep, they're going to bring him another stick. Ah, yes, those of us who couldn't hit will always remember that sound. Bottom of the third, 3-0 in favor of Arizona. Arizona, remember, has won 5 of the previous 8 games played here at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers tried to return the favor. They've won 4 out of 6 against Kirk over in Arizona. So tonight marks the 15th game. Kevin Towers taking in the ball game behind the plate. General manager, and a fine one at that for Arizona. All right, 3-2. Punto at first with 1 out. He goes, and there's a ball hit into left field for a base hit. Punto, with the play in front of him, will stop at second base. So Hanley Ramirez with a new bat grounds a single to left. Runners at first and second, and Adrian Gonzalez coming up. Dodgers now have 4 hits, but nothing to show for it. Adrian, who has just worn out Arizona, hitting .426 against them. 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Up there against a tough hombre, however, the left-hander Patrick Corbin. Corbin leans in to get a sign. Now the left-hander straightens up. 2 on, 1 out. Corbin set, delivers, and the pitch low and away, ball 1. So the Dodgers left the bases loaded in the second inning, and they have 2 on with 1 out now. Adrian Gonzalez, however, 1 for 6 coming into this game against Corbin. That's a .167 batting average. 1 ball and no strikes. Corbin ready, works a fastball on the outside corner at the knees, and the count 1-1. .3-0 Arizona. Bottom of the third, 1 out, 2 on. On deck, Michael Young. Corbin out of a stretch, another check of the runners. 1-1 pitch, and that one is in for a strike. Outside part of the plate, although with a pained look on his face, Gonzalez backs out muttering, and I'm sure that look was because he felt it was not a strike. It was not the startled, almost frightened, disbelieving look on the face of Nick Punto. So Punto at second, Ramirez at first. Remember, Punto hit a no-ball 2-strike pitch for a base hit. 1-2 to Adrian Gonzalez. Corbin ready. Left-hander comes to the plate. Down and away. Nice block. No swing. 2-2 the count. Gosowicz down on a ball way off the plate in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Adrian backing out, thinking over the pitches. Now slowly getting back in. No surprises. After having faced him 7 or 8 times, he knows how Corbin is pitching him, how he's trying to get him out. All right, Adrian back in. The runners take their leads. 3-0 D-backs, bottom of the third. 2-2 pitch on the way. Corbin looks at second to the bag, goes Owings, but no play. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, third inning. D-backs 3 runs, 5 hits. Dodgers no runs, 4 hits. Corbin out of a stretch. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and down goes Adrian. A look back at Welke, shakes his head as if to say, you called a couple of bad pitches on me. So he strikes out, 2 down, and the batter will be Michael Young. The pitch that Adrian swung at was in the dirt. So if he had anything to say as he kind of looks back at Welke can say, well, you're a great judge. If you swung at that pitch, how could you argue about me calling the other pitch a strike? And so it goes in the game. So here's Michael Young. Fly to right field. This time it's a tapper to third. The short way to second by Prado. And that'll be that. So the Dodgers waste 2 hits. Another nice inning for Corbin. And at the end of 3, it's 3-0 Arizona. If you've looked at next year's schedule, you know that the Dodgers will be playing the American League Central. Of the American League Central teams, which one are you looking forward to the most to see at Dodger Stadium? Tweet hashtag and then Detroit Tigers or Chicago White Sox or Cleveland Indians. Stay with us and we'll give you the results. You have to guess. Majority will be Detroit. We'll see. Ball 1 to Aaron Hill, who grounded out in the first inning. Hill, Parra, and Owings in that order. Little fly ball. That's going to be trouble, and Ramirez can't get it. Finally picked up by Van Slyke. So Hill will take a base hit on a little dunker to left field. It's not fishing. You don't throw the little ones back. He's probably lost several base hits on line drives. Hanley Ramirez going way out in pursuit of it, but no chance. So Ryu has now given up 6 hits and 3 runs. Gerardo Parra, remember, went after a pitch that was outside, way off the plate, extended his arm, slapped at it, and hit it inside third down into the corner for a double. Van Slyke had trouble with it, and Parra wound up at third and eventually scored on a double by Gosowich. 1 ball and no strikes to Gerardo Parra. Parra from Santa Barbara del Zulia, that's in Venezuela. He has a Gold Glove. Well, he should. Only been 3 Gold Gloves earned by Arizona players: Orlando Hudson, Steve Finley, and Gerardo. Aaron Hill is not much of a base stealer. He has stolen one and he's been caught 4 times. Para, fly ball to left field, very playable. Van Slyke. So 1 out. Hill returns to first, and the batter will be Chris Owings.
Number 16, Chris Owings.
Last night we were talking about Matt Davidson, another fine young player, a boy from Southern California, lives in Yucaipa, and you can imagine Matt, I don't know for sure, but I would guess he had family and friends. And what happened? He struck out 3 times and hit into a double play. So it goes, life in the big leagues. 1-1 to Owings. Chris from Charleston, South Carolina, and he's had a marvelous year. He was the Pacific Coast League Rookie of the Year, and he was also the most valuable player. He had .330 with 12 home runs, 81 runs batted in, and promptly bangs it into center for a base hit. Stopping at second is Hill. So Owings goes 1 for 2. Ryu is not himself, let's face it. He last pitched on the 30th of August, had the sore back, missed his start in the rotation. So here he is on the 11th. So instead of pitching for the 2nd time since August 30th, it's the 1st. And you can see he's lacking the sharpness that he normally has. Rick Honeycutt watching him. And here is Tuffy Gozowicz. Ball 1, 1-0. Tuffy Martin, don't remember him. Tuffy Rhodes, yeah. And Tuffy Gozowicz. The first Tuffy I ever heard of, I was pretty small, but I sure do remember that name, Tuffy. He was a running back for the New York Football Giants a long time ago. His name was Tuffy Lemons. And as a little guy listening to the Giant games on radio, that name Tuffy always stuck with me. That's not his true name. We'll dig it up. His true name, his full name, is James Benjamin. He went to school at Arizona State, spent 9 years in the minors, so deserves that name, Tuffy, for sure. 1-1. 1-2. Gozowicz doubled in the 2nd inning to drive in Para. 3 runs, 7 hits for Arizona. No runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. So Hill and Owings taking their leads. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball, it's going to go and smothered at second base nicely by Punto, and they get the out. A fine play by Nick Punto to take a base hit and an RBI away from Gozowicz. The runners do move up to 2nd and 3rd, and the batter will be Patrick Corbin. Big play by Punto. So the runners move up. Gozowicz is denied. Punto gritting his teeth and then diving, and with a big glove able to smother it. That glove appears bigger than most infielders like to use. In other words, an infielder's glove is usually a lot smaller than an outfielder's glove, because the outfielder just wants to catch the ball. The infielder wants to be able to reach in, grab the ball, and make the play. Smallest glove I ever saw on an infielder, the great Bill Mazeroski of the Pittsburgh Pirates. It was just a little bit bigger than, let's say, a driving glove. 0-1 the count. Corbin now with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 out. Comebacker. Ryu has it over to Gonzalez. End of rally. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. At the end of 3.5 innings, it's 3-0 Arizona. Farmer Boys. Get an award-winning Farmer's Burger topped with farm fresh veggies, cheese, bacon, and avocado. By Chase. Send money to almost anyone, anywhere with your smartphone. Chase Quick Pay, so you can. And by 76. We're on the driver's side. 3-0 in favor of Arizona. They scored on 3 base hits for 2 runs in the first inning. 2 doubles got them another in the second inning. The Dodgers had a man on in the first inning. They left the bases loaded in the second, and they wound up with 2 on and made out in the third. So the Dodgers have left 5 in the first 3 innings. Corbin now ready to work to Van Slyke, A.J. Ellis, and Skip Schumacher. Corbin and Arizona fortunate in the sense that in the second inning, A.J. Ellis doubled to right center, but the ball kangarooed up over the wall. That prevented Gonzalez from scoring on the double, and he never did get home. So it's still 3-0 Arizona, and here we go, bottom of the 4th. Ball 1. Van Slyke, 7 home runs, 18 runs batted in. It wasn't a walk-off, but remember the home run he hit against the Cardinals? Here, a most dramatic home run at the time. 1-2. First Dodger with a hit and RBI as a pinch hitter in his first career plate appearance since Carl Warwick, who was a fine outfielder. 2-2 the count. Van Slyke hit 2 home runs last year. And one of them I know was a big dramatic home run against the Cardinals. This time he grounds out, 1 away. Don't forget Fox Sports Live, the sports and highlight show you've been waiting for. It is here. Fox Sports Live airing nightly on Fox Sports 1. So 1 away in the 4th. A.J. Ellis coming up. Ellis double to right. That was that ground rule double. So the Dodgers still looking for a run. They're down 3-0. Dodgers have only been shut out 4 times all year at home. Little dribbler. Corbin's going to run it down and feed Goldschmidt. So A.J. taps out, 2 down. And Skip Schumacher coming up.
Dodger center fielder number 55, Skip Schumacher.
Dodgers involved in shutouts at Dodger Stadium. They are 12-4. And for the year, counting road and home, the Dodgers have shut out the opposition 19 times. They have been shut out 7. 1 of 3 from UC Santa Barbara. Right. Michael Young and Chris Valaika of the Marlins. Strike. 0-1. Skip walked in the second inning. On deck, Hyun-Jin Ryu. Fastball hit into left field. So Schumacher goes the other way with a 2-out single. 5 hits but no runs for the Dodgers. And here comes Ryu. Ryu came up with 2 out and the bases loaded in the second inning and grounded out. So the skipper drives one the other way. Hit number 5 for the Dodgers, but nothing else. They've gotten 2 walks. Oh, and 1. Corbin is not overpowering people at all. He struck out Gonzalez of all people with a pitch in the dirt in the third inning. and that's his only strikeout. And that's hit into right field, base hit. Stopping at second is Schumacher. So that'll wake up the crowd now, because Yasiel Puig coming up represents the potential tying run.
Number 66, Yasiel Puig.
So Ryu just takes it into right field for a solid single. Dodgers now have 6 hits and no runs. And here comes Puig. Puig in game 1 hit a dribbler back to the box. Delgado knocked it down, recovered, then hurried and threw the ball away. And Yasiel charitably was given a hit. He went 1 for 4. Then he went 0 for 4 in the next game, so he was 1 for 8. And he is 1 for 2 tonight. So he is 2 for 10. Ryu, meanwhile, is 5 for 8 against Arizona. 0-1 to Yasiel. Puig with 15 home runs, 111 base hits, 35 runs batted in. Oh and 1. And nice block by Gosowicz behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. The toughie, a good block on that pitch. We were talking going into the game about wild pitches. And Corbin has 12. One ball, 1 strike. 2 on, 2 out. 3-0 Arizona in the 4th. And a chopper to short. Nice big hot runs. And that's that. So they're doing a great job covering Yasiel Puig. 2 hits but nothing else. And at the end of 4, it's still 3-0 Arizona. Then hit the road, and the road indeed means a 4-game series in Arizona, a 3-game series in San Diego, and then the last 3 games on the road with San Francisco, and the last 3 games of the regular season at home with Colorado. So take a good look, pick the 1 or 2 of the remaining games, and we'll see you at Dodger Stadium. Well, thanks to those who dug back into the record, we were fortunate in remembering, kind of, that Scott Van Slyke last year hit a very important home run against the St. Louis Cardinals. And it turns out it was May of last year. He hit a pinch hit, 3-run home run in the 7th inning. It put the Dodgers ahead 6-5, and that's how the game ended. I was afraid, to quote Mark Twain, I was beginning to remember things that never happened. But in this case, we were kind of right. Okay. A.J. Pollock, Willie Bloomquist, Paul Goldschmidt, and a strike. For the Dodgers, they have a half a dozen hits, 2 walks. They have left 7 men, and they have failed to score. One and one to count. Ryu very shaky in the first 2 innings. Ground ball into right field. That is the 8th hit for Arizona. So it is not the Ryu that we have accustomed to seeing, and we understand and kind of expected it after the long layoff. So Pollock comes up with his 2nd hit, and the batter Willie Bloomquist. 3 runs, 8 hits for Arizona, and we're just in the 5th inning with nobody out. Bloomquist single to left, grounded to short, 1 for 2. Willie Bloomquist out of Bremerton, Washington. Arizona boy, went to school over there. He had a big thrill because his first major league home run when he was playing for Seattle, it was a grand slam home run, and it was his only home run he hit that year. Pitch out, no action. Pollock has stolen 11 out of 14. Steve Sachs over to talk to him. They're both looking at Matt Williams. Don Mattingly called the pitch out once. Off speed, a hopper. Ramirez flips it back to Pinto over to Gonzalez. Double play. Boy, that was cool. Hanley Ramirez, running away from the play, just backflipped it to Punto. 2 down. Catch, flip, turn. 6-4-3. Second double play the Dodgers have turned, and the batter now, Paul Goldschmidt. Off speed for a strike. Goldie single to right, grounded to third, 1 for 2. That misses, 1-1. Two years, Goldschmidt has 6 home runs against the Dodgers. That's a little low, 2-1. That's a strike. 2-2. The thing about Goldschmidt, not just that he hits home runs, he has 31. 8 of them have been hit from the 8th and 9th inning. Either tied or put the D-backs in front. So he certainly has the taste for the dramatic. He's the first player in the National League to reach 100 RBIs. Brandon Phillips is right back on him. Foul ball, and the count stays 3-2. Still 3-2. Goldschmidt is 6'3", listed at about 240. Big man from a little state. He's from Wilmington, Delaware. Went to school at Texas State and was drafted by the Dodgers. He turned them down. And with Ramirez playing in the hole, a ground ball that normally would be an out is a base hit. So Goldschmidt finds the spot and goes 2 for 3. Ramirez playing way over in the hole, expecting the ball to be pulled. See where he is? And look at the difference from Ramirez in second base. He just can't catch up to it. So now Martin Prado hit into a double play, grounded out. One of the top contact hitters. Ball 1. Prado has only struck out 48 times all year. Goldschmidt, a big man, but runs very well. He's stolen 13 bases. And ball 2. With Aaron Hill on deck, Prado checking with Matt Williams to see if there might be a play in the works. They might run Goldschmidt, but you have 2 out. 2-0. And ball 3. One thing about Ryu's pitching, they're not pulling the ball. Oh, they have 2 doubles, but remember Parra's double. He almost went across the plate to poke it into left field. 6 of the 9 hits that Arizona has have either gone up the middle or the other way. Not that it really makes any difference. They're doing a good job against Ryu. 3-0. Strike. 3-1. Arizona trying to snap a little 3-game losing streak. Dodgers trying to add to a little 2-game winning streak. High foul out of play. 3-2. The Giants are coming. Sure hope you'll join us starting tomorrow for a 4-game series. Matt Cain against Zach Greinke tomorrow night. That ought to be a great game for sure. 3-2. Little pop fly in foul ground is Gonzalez, and that's it. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. At the end of 4.5, it's still 3-0 Arizona. And the owner's suite is now available free on iPhone and iPad. That's right. Build your stadium, make the decisions to guide your team to the World Series. Download MLB Ballpark Empire free today. Data and usage rates may apply. Arizona scored 2 in the first inning, added another in the second, and that's it. They lead the Dodgers 3-0. Dodgers have had ample opportunity. They've had 6 hits and a couple of walks, and they've left 7. Punto showing bunt, ball 1. Nick hit into a double play and then got a base hit on an 0-2 count in the third inning. That's in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Patrick Corbin, who started the year 9-0, went 12-1, but is now 13-6. So if we do the math, things turned around against him. The last 6 decisions, he's 1-5. 2-1. Now he's behind 3-1. Three and 2. High chopper to shortstop. Owings right there makes the play. 1 out in the 5th inning. Hanley Ramirez flied to center, single to left, 1 for 2. Hanley hitting .341, 18 home runs, 53 runs batted in. Hitting back of him, Adrian Gonzalez. And bounced that first one, ball 1. Patrick Corbin is from Clay, New York, C-L-A-Y. It's a suburb of Syracuse. City of about 58,000. You might not have heard of Clay, New York, but you might certainly have heard of a resident there, Richard Gere, the actor. And Hanley Ramirez will jog into second base with a stand-up double. So Hanley is 2 for 3, and that'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez. Take another look. So a sharp line drive down the line. Dodgers still trying to get on the board. 7 hits and 2 walks, and yet to score. Michael Young hitting behind Adrian Gonzalez. Dodgers had Puig lead off in the first inning, but Punto hit into a double play. Dodgers left the bases loaded in the second. 2 base hits in the third. 2 more hits in the fourth. Chopper foul. And now finally a 1-out double by Ramirez. So 7 hits and nothing to show for it. 0-1 to Adrian. The end of the inning, we're going to talk about, well, in the words of Tommy Lasorda, one of the greatest games he's ever been involved in. Maybe you were here. No balls, 1 strike. Ground ball, Goldschmidt moving over to third, Ramirez. And the batter will be Michael Young. So Gonzalez goes 0 for 2. Michael Young is 0 for 2. Fly to right, hit into a force play. Michael has a memory when he was very small, and everyone has always talked about what a dedicated, hard-working player Michael Young is. He said, dedicated, hard-working. I can remember as a little boy, my mom and I would help our dad to put his boots on to go to construction work because his back was so sore he couldn't bend over and put the boots on himself. Well, a ground ball to Owings, and the D-backs put the Dukes to the Dodgers. And at the end of 5, 3-0 Arizona. Battling it out for a pennant, and the Dodgers down 6-3, bottom of the 9th inning. In the course of the 9th inning against Gene Garber, Mike Marshall had a double to drive Pedro Guerrero to third base. Guerrero was the winning run, and the Dodgers sent up a rookie. As Tommy Lasorda said, I had no idea if he could ever bunt, but I put the squeeze on. And R.J. Reynolds, the rookie, made a great squeeze bunt. Guerrero scored, and the Dodgers pull the game out 7-6. It was something. Let's go back to this one. Ryu down 3-0, going back to work here in the 6th inning. Hunjin has allowed 9 hits. 3 runs came in the first 2 innings. Working on Aaron Hill. He has the count 1-1. Off speed, little dribble, a tough play. Young gloves, throws on the run. Way too late. Hill flying down the line. So an infield single for Aaron Hill, and that'll bring up Gerardo Parra.
Number 8, Gerardo Parra.
Hill 2 for 3, and that means 10 hits now against Ryu. Gerardo Parra has doubled and flied to left. Very first game that Hunjin Ryu pitched for the Dodgers, he lost. He allowed 10 hits. It was against the Giants. And you're right, he lost 3-0. That was going to be the most hits he allowed until twice he allowed 11 hits. One of the 11 hit games he was not involved in the decision, and that was against Arizona. Two balls and no strikes. Parra has doubled to left, flied to left. One of Ryu's big problems, it's always a severe problem for any pitcher, the leadoff man. The leadoff man has gotten on base now 5 times in 6 innings. The only time the leadoff man did not get on, Bloomquist opened up the 3rd inning and grounded out. Otherwise, Pollock in the 1st with a single, Parra with a double in the 2nd, Hill with a single in the 4th. There's a broken bat, ground ball, Punto for the tag and makes the play at first. Boy, you talk about Nick Punto being busy. First he had to get out of the way of that. A spear heading for his territory. So the double play 4-3 as Nick gets a putout and an assist, and we have 2 down. The bat and the ball, Punto concentrating on the ball. Meanwhile, Hill had to jump in the air to avoid the bat. Two down. Up he goes. The bat stays down. But he's broken stride, so he's tagged out. So Chris Owings coming up. Nice play by Nick. Boy, he is a battler. Ball 1. Owings grounded out. Single to center. 1 for 2. Good looking player. That's going to be a big deal for Arizona. Kevin Towers, Kirk Gibson. Who's going to play shortstop next year? Didi Gregorius, who hit that monstrous home run last night, more than halfway up the right field pavilion, or this kid. And you can see Didi, the boy from the Netherlands in Curaçao, waiting for a call with the bat. Two fine looking young players. 2-2 the count. They got Gregorius from Cincinnati. They got Owings from their own scouts. Of course, the whole shortstop situation fell apart in Arizona when Stephen Drew just cracked up his ankle. Still 2-2. But boy, you look at Owings, the rookie of the year in the Coast League, most valuable player. Just turned 22. And he slices it to right. Here comes Puig, a diving catch for the out. We were looking at first base umpire Field and Culbreth, and he was the one that indicated catch. So Puig makes a big play in right field, and we're heading for the bottom of the 6th. It is still Arizona 3 and the Dodgers nothing. They beat Milwaukee 5-1. They got 4 in the 8th inning to break a 1-1 tie. Pittsburgh knocked off Texas yes again. Justin Morneau 4 for 5 and 2 runs. And Cincinnati shutting down Chicago 6-0. So when you look, you see the Cardinals have won 85, Pittsburgh 84, Cincinnati 83, and of course that's the battle for the wild card as well as the division lead. Bottom of the 6th, Scott Van Slyke. Fly to center, grounded to third, 0 for 2. 2-0. Foul back. Most hitters would appear to be more settled at the plate than Scott Van Slyke, and yet he's in his own particular comfort zone. Position of his hands, they're not back and in constant movement. And then that big leg to load up, but it produces just a ground ball, bad throw, and a fine tag by Paul Goldschmidt. The Goldie can do a lot. He's already made a diving short hop play to take a hit away. Now he makes a fine play on a wild throw almost from Chris Owen. Up goes the big man and then makes a swipe on Van Slyke going by. Very nice play. Gotcha. 1 away. Well, that's what Joe Louis said. You can run, but you can't hide. Well, that's what happens to Scott Van Slyke. 1 away. Strike to A.J. Ellis, who doubled to right. Ground rule cost the Dodgers a run when it bounced over the fence. Last time up, hit back to the box. High fly ball into right center, but Pollock right there. So A.J. a long out, 2 down in the 6th inning. Schumacher the batter. They have Brandon Lee throwing in the Dodger bullpen. So you'd say, well, they're going to have a pinch hitter for Ryu and get league ready, but it might very well be that whether they hit for him or not, Ryu is finished for the night. Remember, he hadn't pitched in 11 days. He's made 89 pitches, 6 innings. So they might just be planning on lifting him anyway. Schumacher has walked and singled to left. Skip hitting a nice solid 270. That's a strike. 1-1. In contrast to Ryu, Corbin has allowed the leadoff man to get on base in the 1st inning and in the 2nd inning, but never again. Trying to win his 14th. One and 2. Breaking ball. Jerry Hairston comes out on deck. It'll be interesting to see if Schumacher makes the 3rd out, whether Ryu's going to go out there again or not. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2. For Corwin, he has now made 95 pitches. Slow breaking ball lifted, and there's Pollock. So the Dodgers go quietly in the 6th, and at the end of 6, it remains 3-0 Arizona. AT&T, rethink possible. By CarMax, start the search for your next car at CarMax. By Toyota's nationwide clearance event. Now you can save big on every Toyota car, truck, and SUV. And by Captain Morgan, raise your glass, always in moderation. We're going to the 7th inning, and it was a reasonable thought, the fact that having gone 6, they might be taking Ryu out, pinch hitter or no. And sure enough, they decided that 6 innings and 89 pitches would be enough for tonight. So Brandon League will pick up in the 7th inning. It might only be 1 inning for him because he's due up first when the Dodgers hit in the 7th. 3-0 in favor of Arizona. They scored 2 in the first inning, 1 in the second inning, and that's it. Dodgers unable to get anything on the board. They left 7 men in the first 4 innings, left a man in the 5th inning, and then failed to leave a man in the 6th. Gosowicz, the catcher, takes off the plate. 2-1 the count to Tuffy. He doubled and lost a hit on a wonderful diving stop by Nick Punto. And he whacks it in the gap. So that's going to go to the wall by the time Schumacher picks it up. Tuffy's into second base with a double, and he's 2 for 3.
Pitcher number 46, Patrick Corbin.
Patrick Corbin coming up now. So Lee greeted with a double, hit number 11 on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 3 runs, 11 hits for Arizona. No runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. Patrick Corbin grounded to short, hit back to the box, and the Dodgers figure he'll try to bunt Gosowicz over to third. Take a look about Corbin's ability with the bat. He has 5 sacrifices. So he can do it. Ball 1. Michael Young was not coming. In fact, Michael Young was hanging out at third base. Playing caddy corner now. The bunt fouled off, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th, League is due to lead off. Then Puig and Punto. Wisely pulling the bat back. 2-1 the count. All fastballs. They've always felt fastball is tougher to hit than the curve. Fastball, it's kind of tough to get the ball down on the ground anyway. Pop it up. The throw down, but Gosowicz back to the bag. Pitch a strike, and they count 2-2 to Pat Corbin. So Gonzalez ready to come to the plate, but not necessarily Young. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bunts in the air, so he's had it. Strike 3. So Corbin goes down trying to bunt. 1 out. Gosowicz stays at second, and the batter now is A.J. Pollock. Pollock single to center, struck out, single to right. Though he is 2 for 3, scored a run, hitting .256. He's the boy they raved about as a defensive center fielder. Ball one. 7th inning, 1 out. Gosowicz at second base. 3-0 Arizona. One fastball after another. 2-0 the count. Brandon League from Hawaii, raised there. He's the rare one. Most of the ball players from Hawaii tell you, no, I never went to the beach. All I did was play ball. League was a surfer. He loved it. Another sinker in there at 95. 2-1. Two and two the count. The paid attendance tonight, 40,818. 40818. Last night we had 41,867. Dodgers are leading the major leagues in attendance thanks to the great fans here in Southern California. Two and two. Still 2-2. 15th meeting of the year between the two teams. They've each won 7 of the previous 14. There'll be 3 more meetings. In fact, make it 4 more in Arizona to make it 19 meetings for the year. 2-2 to A.J. Pollock. Nice save by A.J. on that one. 3-2. Brian Wilson gets up down in the Dodger bullpen. We figure that League is only in there for an inning. They would then hit for him. So Brian getting ready. Cracked bat. He'll have to get another. So Pollock heading back for the bat rack to get a new one. 3-2 the count to A.J. League so far has made 16 pitches. He has 1 out and a runner at second base. Three and two. And after all of that, he walks. So a good at bat for A.J. Pollock. He is 2 for 3 with a walk. And that'll bring up Willie Bloomquist. And with only 1 out, the Dodgers are very conscious of the man hitting after Bloomquist, Paul Goldschmidt. Paul, by the way, 2 for 3 again against the Dodgers. But Bloomquist will be the batter, single to left, grounded to short, and grounded into a double play. Ground ball of the hole through. Holding up for a moment was Gosowicz, so they're going to stop him at third. He thought for a moment that ground ball might find a glove. So Bloomquist rolls a single to left, and here comes Goldschmidt, who has 3 grand slams this year coming up. So League is in a league of his own right now. He's given up a single, a double, and a walk. And with one out, the toughest D-back. And A.J. Ellis will go out to consume a little time. He'll look it up about Brandon League. Brandon League and Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt is 3 for 3 with a home run against him. So he will not get a chance to go 4 for 4. League will come out and they will bring in the beard, Brian Wilson, and we'll be right back. The score dramatically with the bases loaded, one out, and Paul Goldschmidt, who has 3 grand slams, the only 3 grand slams for Arizona this year. You don't make excuses. They're professionals and it's their job, but just to understand the situation with Brandon League. The last time that League pitched was a week ago. The last time Hyun-Jin Ryu pitched was 11 days ago. And it's just pretty hard in the big leagues to do what you want to do with long layoffs. So now let's see what Brian Wilson can do with the bases loaded. 1 out. Ball 1. The Goldschmidt hitting with the bases jammed. The last time that Wilson pitched, that would be Saturday in Cincinnati. And he's up there with standing room only. And a drive to center. Schumacher has to play it on a bounce. 1 run will score. That makes it 4-0 Arizona. And they're still very much in business. So Goldschmidt, as usual, wearing out the Dodgers. That's his 3rd hit tonight. And a run batted in. Everybody else moved up. Bloomquist goes to second. Pollock advanced to third, and Gosowicz came home. That run is charged to League. So now the batter is Martin Prado. Hit into a double play, grounded out, fouled out. Fastball, strike, 0-1. Well, let's see about Prado and Wilson. Prado is 2 for 3 in the past against Brian. Oh, 2. Arizona with 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and now they've added another in the 7th. Dodgers have 7 hits and a couple of walks, and they have stranded 8 without getting anybody home. So Pollock, Bloomquist, and Goldschmidt out there. 0-2 to Martin Prado. 1-2. Brian Wilson is 6'2", 205 pounds with the beard, from Winchester, Massachusetts, and lives in Londonderry, New Hampshire. Went to school at LSU and was originally drafted by the Giants. Crackback, ground ball. They're going to get one. They're going to get two. Prado has now hit into 2 double plays tonight and 28 double plays this year. No wonder he looked pained. But they get a run, and at the end of 6.5, 4-0 Arizona. Crowd will be asked to stand for God Bless America and then Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
At this time, we would like to recognize
first responders and members of our nation's armed forces, both active duty and retired, in attendance, to be recognized. We thank all of you for your service and the personal sacrifices you and your families have made to keep our country safe. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the singing of God Bless America, performed today by second-class petty officer Michael Gallagher.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Second-class petty officer Michael Gallagher.
Of the 7th inning, Brandon League had to give way to Brian Wilson, who will now give way to Mark Ellis. And Ellis will be followed by Puig and then Punto. The Brian Wilson came in, gave up the base hit for a run, then got the double play. Mark Ellis hitting .271, trying to lead the Dodgers back. Half a dozen home runs, 2 for 5 last night. Patrick Corbin as the Dodgers shutout. Of course, way back when the game first started, we told you that from a period, the end of 2012 and the beginning of 2013, Corbin had 20 1/3 scoreless innings against the Dodgers. So the fact that he has them shut down tonight is not necessarily much of a surprise for Corbin. He also has 3 complete games this year. And he takes care of Mark Ellis pronto. So Ellis down, Puig coming up. Remember we asked which American League Central team we were looking forward to seeing most at Dodger Stadium. And as we figured, 75% would love to see Miguel Cabrera, Justin Verlander, and the Detroit Tigers, followed by the White Sox and the Indians. The Detroit leading the way, of course. And of course the Tigers are leading in the American League Central. They have a 5.5 game lead over Cleveland. That's a strike to Puig. One ball and 1 strike. Yasiel single to right, robbed of an extra base hit. Hit a line drive, and it was a diving catch by Paul Goldschmidt. Last time up, just grounded out. And drives one, and that's no doubt about it, to the back of the Dodger bullpen. So Puig hits his 16th, but it's 4-1 Arizona. So he'd have a really big night if Goldschmidt hadn't taken that extra base hit away from him. And a hug from his buddy Ramirez. Breaking ball. And he got all of that thing. I mean, it short hopped the ivy-covered wall, the back wall in the bullpen, and he knew it immediately. So did everybody in the house. So Marmol watched that thing come by as Puig hits it out. Patrick Corbin gives up the home run, and they've decided that's enough for him, and we'll be back. Scoreboard, it was worth looking at again. Breaking ball down and in, and he just crushed it. That also finished the night for Corbin. He made 102 pitches and gives way to Chaz Rowe as we watch the ball go all the way into the back wall of the Dodger bullpen. So Rowe pitching to Punto. Trying to find out. His first name they say is Chaz, and I'm just wondering if his name is really Charles. We've known fellas with that first name who get the nickname Chaz. But we look it up in the book, we look it up in our notes, and it's still Chaz. Fly ball coming in, calling for it is Bloomquist. So 2 down. Hanley Ramirez coming up.
Dodger shortstop number 13.
Chaz Rowe working on Ramirez. Chaz is 6'5", about 190 pounds, out of Lexington, Kentucky. Went to Lafayette High School, and he was a first-round pick by the Rockies. In a beard competition, he'd lose out to Wilson, but he's trying. Yeah, with a mohawk. Little slider, 0-1 to count. Ramirez flied to center, single to left, double to left. But the Dodgers have been hitting completely out of sync. They had 7 hits and no runs. They left 7 men over a 3-inning period. And they finally get a run on a bases empty home run by Yasiel Puig. So Trey Hillman talking to Don Mattingly in the strike 1 pitch. Ramirez backs off, 1-1. Chaz Rowe was traded from the Rockies to the Seattle Mariners, but they were minor league deals. In fact, when you look at this battery, you have Chaz Rowe, who spent 8 years in the minor league. Tuffy Gosowitz spent 9 years in the minor leagues. And they finally get in the big leagues, and they're a battery. Assault and battery, considering all those years in the minors. High foul, that will go out of play. We went to the book, the Baseball Reference, to check on Rowe to see about that name Chaz. And it is Chaz. It's not Charles. His full name is Chaz Daniel Rowe. 2-2. Slider, cracked bat, little ground ball, Owings, and Hanley barely getting to first base. So Puig gets the Dodgers on the scoreboard, but that's all, and Arizona leads the Dodgers 4-1. by Patrick Corbin. The Dodgers make two changes. Carlos Marmol comes in out of the bullpen. Mark Ellis, who batted for Brian Wilson, stays in the game at second base. So if you are keeping score, Wilson bats ninth at second, and Marmol would go into punto spot. The way Hanley Ramirez did not run down the line on the ground ball, we thought maybe he was hurt. But sure enough, he's gone back out to his position. So we move to the eighth inning. It'll be Aaron Hill, then Gerardo Parra, and Chris Owings. Hill grounded out, single to left, then topped the ball up along third and beat Michael Young's throw. So Carlos Marmol ready to get in a little work. Marmol appeared in the first game, made 17 pitches, and like he's doing tonight, pitched the eighth inning. He retired Eaton, Hill, and Goldschmidt in game one. That's ball one. Now behind 2-0. And he lifts one into shallow left center. Who will it be? Big Van Slyke. Skip went behind him. Might have even gotten his foot. And that knocked him off balance. The two fellas who certainly have not played together very well. Near collision. Let's see if we can see if Schumacher hits the shoe of Van Slyke. I think he might have hit the left heel. He's hollering, "I got it, I got it." He don't got it. One away. I told this a long time ago, but maybe you forgot it or didn't hear it. We were in college playing a game, pop fly in the infield, and one of our infielders hollered, "I got it, I got it," and he caught the ball and the inning ended and we went back to the dugout. And our coach, Jack Coffey, who had played with Ty Cobb and was a true intellectual, called the team together. He said, "Gentlemen, this is a school of learning. This is higher an institution of learning. On a pop fly, you don't say, 'I got it, I got it.' You say, 'I have it, I have it.'" And we all said, "Yes, sir, coach." And a few days later, there was a big pop fly. Another infielder started, "I got it, I got it. I mean, I have it," and he dropped it. And that was the end of proper grammar. So Schumacher can holler, "I got it," all he wants. One down. Two out here in the inning. Chris Owings has grounded out, singled, and robbed of a hit on a diving catch by Yasiel Puig. Right. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the eighth inning, it'll be Adrian Gonzalez, Michael Young, and Scott Van Slyke. One and one. Marmol throws 96 on that pitch. Boy, when he cocks that arm back and then comes forward, he is driving off the rubber. His entire body is behind that pitch to get it to 96. 1-2, and that was 95. So it's been Ryu, who was not himself, allowed 3 runs in the first 2 innings. Then after that, for the next 4, he was fine. Brandon Lee gave up a run. Brian Wilson gave up a base hit that caused the run, then got a double play. And now here's Marmol. 2-2. Kenley Jansen pitched in each of the first 2 games. So you don't expect to see Kenley tonight no matter what. Giants here tomorrow. Matt Cain and Zach Greinke. In fact, the pitching for the 4-game series is certainly worth looking at. Matt Cain and Zach Greinke, Madison Bumgarner and Clayton Kershaw. That's Friday night. Saturday, Tim Lincecum and Ricky Nolasco. 3-2 is ball 4. Then the final game of the series, Ryan Vogelsong and Edinson Volquez. But boy, the first 3, Cain and Greinke, Bumgarner and Kershaw, Lincecum and Nolasco. Then the Dodgers hit the road. So a 2-out walk. And the batter now is the catcher, Tuffy Gozowicz, who has doubled, then robbed of a hit, and doubled again. Owings has only been in 6 games. He does have a stolen base. See what that means. Takes a big lead. Ball 1. Two out in the 8th. 4-1 Arizona. Trying to lead here by beating the Dodgers 6 out of 9 in their own house. Small consolation, however. Even if Arizona does win, they'll be 12 games back with time running out. But as Kirk said, they're playing for pride. Right. 1-1. Four runs, 13 hits for Arizona. 1 run, 8 hits for the Dodgers. 10 hits against Ryu, 2 hits against League. There goes the runner. The pitch is high. The throw is short. And it's a stolen base for Owings. He's now 2 for 2. So for the D-backs, they'll be judging from now till the end of the season, all through spring, who's going to be the shortstop. Will it be Chris Owings or will it be Didi Gregorius? They've got 2 good ones. Didi's night off. Last night, Gregorius went 1 for 4 with a monstrous home run. The night before, he had a double. That home run he hit last night, used the word shocking as Gerardo Parra sits alongside of him. But Tony La Russa was in the booth watching with us, and he said, I didn't believe he had that kind of power at all. And I mean, he unloaded. Well, Tuffy up there, 3-2. And that'll do it. So Marmol winds up striking out 2. And we're heading to the bottom of the 8th. Gonzalez will lead it off. Arizona leads 4-1. Far more like the pitcher 12-1 than the pitcher who had been 1-5 the last few games. Corbin goes 6 1/3, and finally, on his 101st pitch, he gave up the home run to Yasiel Puig, but otherwise he was in a lot of trouble and just sailed right through it. Hyun-Jin Ryu, after a 10-day layoff, wasn't quite the same. He did have a lot of ground balls, so a lot of worms were killed here tonight. 26 ground balls. But then there's always Paul Goldschmidt, and as usual, he had 3 hits against the Dodgers, 2 RBIs, and with that we go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Dodgers face David Hernandez. The Goldschmidt has also made a couple of fine defensive plays. One, an extra base hit that he took away from Puig. Meanwhile, Adrian fouls the first pitch down the line and out of play. 40,818 taken in the game. David Hernandez, whom we saw briefly, came back to the D-backs September the 1st, and he's had 4 scoreless appearances. They had sent him out to Reno. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Arizona bullpen shaky most of the year. One ball, 1 strike. Ball 2. David Hernandez, before they sent him out, had 5 blown saves. Heath Bell had 7. J.J. Putz had 5. So the pen was really a weak spot, and they're trying to shore it up. Another foul ball. David Hernandez from Sacramento. 6'3", 230. 28 years old. He was drafted 3 times before he began his pro career. By the Rockies out of high school, by the Diamondbacks, by the Orioles. 2-2. Finally signed with the Orioles. Fly ball, slicing foul out of play. Adrian hitting .295, 20 home runs, 89 runs batted in. His walk, struck out, and grounded out. Looking at fastballs, a curve, and a changeup. And strike 3 called. Boy, you talk about a late breaking pitch. So Adrian strikes out a second time, goes 0 for 3. Watch this. Just seemed to break at the last minute, and there wasn't a thing Adrian can do about it. Big pitch. 1 away. So Corbin, Rowe, and now Hernandez. Dodgers will dig in and wait the arrival of the Giants to begin a 4-game series. There's a line drive right at Owings for the second out, so Young goes 0 for 4. Anyway, the Rockies will come to Arizona. And Arizona has fed off Colorado. They have beaten them 6 out of 7 times at home. They've lost 4 out of 6 to Colorado in Denver. But they've won 6 of 7 from the Rockies at home. So that seems to tell you to reduce the magic number from 6. The Dodgers are going to have to play well against San Francisco. That's a strike to Scotty. Fly to center, grounded to third, grounded to short. Oh and 1. Fastball at 95. 1-1. the hitters say when you're batting against David Hernandez, well, let's take it the other way. You know, when you see Paco Rodriguez extend his arm, you see the ball immediately. You lose the ball behind Hernandez's head for a split second. And, of course, the big guy throws hard. And you lose it for a second. It's really tough to pick it up again. Two balls and two strikes. Just got Van Slyke. Dodgers have a new pitcher. He's a young left-hander. He's from Guantanamo in Cuba. That's going to go down the line. Parra in pursuit in the corner. And what a play. A Gold Glover in right field. Gerardo Parra makes a sensational catch. Especially to do it in somebody else's ballpark. At home, you kind of know the territory. He took one look, went back to finding the ball, backhands it, goes into a slide, cushions it with his feet. Brilliant play, and it's 4-1 Arizona. There was one in the 6th inning by Yasiel Puig, a diving catch, taking an extra base hit away from Chris Owings, the Arizona shortstop. So that was back in the 6th. Puig hit a home run in the 7th, and it's still 4-1 Arizona. We were talking about the Dodgers having a new acquisition, a left-hander from Guantanamo, and here he comes. Onelki Garcia from Guantanamo, a city, not the naval institution and prison. He's 24 years old. The Dodgers thought, you know what? He's doing well in the minors in AA and AAA. Why not bring him up, let him pitch a little bit, take the load of Paco Rodriguez and J.P. Howell. And so here he is. There was a quote from him before the game through a translator. Onelki said, I put in a lot of work in AA. Things went well. Thank God I'm here. When I got to this country, all I could think about was getting to the big leagues. Well, he is 6'3", 220-pounder. A third-round pick by the Dodgers last year. In fact, he left Cuba in January of 2011. Along with third baseman Adonis Garcia, who had played on some of Cuba's national teams. When you ask Onelki about Guantanamo, he says it has a big naval base, sure, but my favorite part, the mountains. He was declared draft eligible just before the 2011 draft, sending out emails and faxes, and the Dodgers considered taking him along with the Cubs, and then finally selected him. He was selected in the 3rd round last year. Dodgers like his makeup. They say he absorbs instructions. His English is coming along. His hero, Clayton Kershaw. So we'll take a look at him now. Onelki Garcia. Adam Eaton at 5'8" will be up there to test his control and finding the strike zone. Garcia has been clocked a fastball as high at 97. Then he has a curve, slider, and change. So it'll be interesting to see. 24 years old, first pitch in the big leagues. And ball one. One ball and no strikes. Breaking ball misses, 2-0. Adam Eaton played center field last night. Had a long night. 0 for 5. Didn't hit a ball out of the infield. In the first game, he went 0 for 4. So he's 0 for 9 in the series. He did make a good defensive play in the outfield. Adrian Gonzalez last night hit a ball off the right center field wall, and Eaton nailed him trying to go to second. That was a heads-up play. 3-0 the count to Adam Eaton. Batting for Hernandez. And ball 4. So Garcia makes his debut. Gives up a walk. And now here comes Mattingly. Well, that'll be kind of a quick hook. In fact, he's learned enough English to say, wow. That's exactly what he said when he saw Mattingly coming out of the dugout. They have Peter Moylan. All right, Onelki, nice to see you. Get a little rest, and we'll see you soon, and we'll be back. He doesn't understand the one word he uttered when Mattingly came out to get him. He said, wow, meaning, of course, I'm allowed to pitch to one man. Just about every member of the team in the dugout came over, patted him on the back. All of the pitchers did. And he's still trying to figure out, they brought me here and they let me pitch to one batter. So he will learn and hopefully get more opportunities. But right now, Peter Moylan will pick up and face Pollock, Bloomquist, and Goldschmidt. Peter, recalled from AAA. He's from Australia, you may remember, with the Dodgers earlier. Used to be with Atlanta. Pollock at the plate, 2 hits and a walk. Right. Adam Eaton at first base. Nobody out. 9th inning. 4-1. Favor of Arizona. The Dodgers have A.J. Ellis, Skip Schumacher, and Mark Ellis due up in the bottom of the 9th. Oh and 1. Peter Moylan has had to really fight physical problems. He's had 2 back surgeries, and he also had a Tommy John surgery. There goes Eaton. Good throw right into the runner. Got him. Wonderful throw by A.J. Ellis. You would think that Eaton was carrying a magnet, because that ball was going right for his ribs, and it was reasonably easy for Mark Ellis to handle it as he just kind of slid right into the tag. Look at this. Going right at him. Gotcha. So down goes Eaton, 2-4. Nice play by A.J. Pollock up there with an 0-2 count. Ball 1. On deck, Willie Bloomquist. To repeat, Arizona goes home to play Colorado for 3. Dodgers play the Giants for 4. And then the Dodgers go right back and play Arizona 4 more. Pop fly. Ellis going out. Makes the catch. Nice play by Mark. 2 down. And Willie Bloomquist coming up.
The fielder, Willie Bloomquist.
Bloomquist single to left, grounded to short, hit into a double play, and single to left again. So Willie is 2 for 4, scored a run in the first inning, and hitting .345. They've really missed him. As we mentioned, he's been plagued by injuries and has only played in 34 games. This is the 145th game played by Arizona. Well, Bloomquist trying to keep the door open for Goldschmidt. Meanwhile, Miguel Montero and Gerardo Parra, a couple of fellas from Venezuela. 1-0. Line drive inside the chalk and down the line. Bloomquist will hold on as Puig kind of looked at him as if to say, I dare you, and then throws to first. So nothing the Dodgers can do to prevent another at-bat by Paul Goldschmidt.
Paul Goldschmidt.
So Bloomquist a 3-hit night. Goldschmidt has 3 hits and a run batted in. Then he picked up his second RBI in the 7th inning. 31 home runs, second in the league. 109 RBIs, first in the league. Slider for a strike. 0-1. Paul checking with Matt Williams. 0-1. And another slider and a half swing. 0-2. Peter Moylan relieving young Onelki Garcia. Ground ball wide of third in the hole, and it goes on through. Meanwhile, third base was open, so running wisely, Bloomquist goes all the way to third. And for Paul Goldschmidt, it'll be his 4th hit against the Dodgers tonight. It had eyes, as the players say. Big bouncer. Young can't get it. And the backhanded attempt by Ramirez didn't work either. So with 2 out and leading 4-1 in the 9th inning, Martin Prado, who is not only 0 for 4 but continues to be plagued by the double play, because he can't do it now. There's 2 out. But he hit into a double play in the 1st inning and in the 7th. So he has grounded in a somewhat astounding 28 double plays. And he's a wonderful hitter. Fastball, 0-1. So all those sliders to Goldschmidt, now a fastball to Prado. Bloomquist at third, Goldschmidt at first. Fastball hit right to Young, down to second base, and that'll be that. So a walk and 2 hits. Arizona fails to score, and we go to the bottom of the 9th, 4-1 Arizona. For David Hernandez, stays in the game in left field, taking over for Willie Bloomquist. And Brad Ziegler comes out of the bullpen. He will go in Bloomquist's vacated spot. Ziegler in 70 games with a great record of 8-1. He is one of 5 D-backs with a save. He's also been very good in inheriting runners. So Ziegler has just about been the closer of late, since Heath Bell and J.J. Putz have been pretty shaky. And Ziegler now will be asked to put away Ellis, Schumacher, and Mark Ellis. Right. Brad Ziegler is from Pratt, Kansas, working on A.J. Ellis, who is 1 for 3. Brad lives in Springfield, Missouri, went to Southwest Missouri State. Little ground ball to third. Nice pick on the run by Prado, and that'll do it for A.J. So 1 out, 9th inning.
Center fielder number 55.
A reminder, Dodgers Live will be coming up right after the game. Skip Schumacher, the batter. The Dodgers have had 1 hit. It was a home run by Puig since the 5th inning, when Ramirez doubled. Dodgers left 7 men in the first 4 innings, and with it, the chance to catch up. Schumacher has walked, single, fly to center, strike, 0-1. When Brad Ziegler was in the Oakland organization, he was originally drafted by the Phillies, but it was in the Oakland organization where they converted him to a submarine style. is just another pitcher out of Odessa High School in Missouri. But when they dropped his arm, it picked up his career tremendously. Foul ball, 1-2. Ziegler grew up and played about a half hour away from Albert Pujols. 2-2. They played with and against each other in summer ball. There were times where Ziegler admits with a laugh Pujols hit a couple of dingers against him. 3-2. Ziegler was 28 years old before he made his major league debut. So he's worked hard to get here. Ground ball, Goldschmidt at the other end of it. 2 down in the 9th inning. So the magic number started to be 6, and it is staying at 6. Especially if Arizona has anything to do about it. Dodgers will try to change that number. Don't forget, it's any combination of Dodger wins and or Arizona losses that adds up to 6, and that's it. So the Dodgers will try to get close against the Giants, and they'll hope Colorado will help the job going up against Arizona. It's ball 1 to Mark Ellis. So Hanley and company will be on the field tomorrow night against Arizona. Zach Greinke and Matt Cain. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach, along with Chris Capuano, taken in the game. They both went down, patted young Garcia on the shoulder earlier. I don't know if he'll ever get over that, but he'll have to. Big ground ball, nice pick at third by Prado, and that's it. Arizona salvages 1 of the 3. They keep the magic number at 6, and they go home still possibly alive in the race. San Diego was extinguished tonight earlier when they lost in Philadelphia. So, hope you make your plans to be with us during the Giant series. And right now, stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next.